So we're here in Croke Park for the Captain's Day ahead of the All-Ireland Club Championship Finals. I'm delighted to be joined by Clontarf manager Mick Cronin and Captain Sarah Murphy. Couple of days out, excitement ahead of Saturday's big game.
Yeah, I think excitement is building, big day for the club, big day for the girls, for families, so all looking forward to it.
How are the preps going? Are we all fully fit, full panel to pick from?
Yeah, we're fully fit, I think, at this stage, obviously, come to the end of a long season, there's going to be girls with knocks and that, but hopefully, come Saturday, everybody will be available for selection.
And you've got a good mix of youth and experience now on the side. Some players have joined this year, along with some that were there for the last couple of seasons, and they've seemed to have gelled really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've the likes of Sarah's been here before, three losses before we got to win one this year, and there's probably, I'd say 7 or 8 of the girls would have been involved for the last 3 or 4 years to lose, and then we have a few new girls this year came through, and a number of minor girls as well. So it's a good mix between girls 18 to 20 and girls a little bit more experienced than that, let's say.
And Sarah, it'll be a big day for you as well to lead the team out in Parnell Park on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such an honour. It's my first year being captain, so it's a great year to come through. But I was on the team all the losing years as well. But it's brilliant for the girls, the ladies that have stuck around, and the girls that have came through as well. And the country girls, they're just brilliant. Like you said, we've gelled together unbelievably. Some of the Dublin girls who haven't been there for all the training sessions and stuff, but like that, everyone has just gelled in.
And your forward line is on fire this season. You're banging in the goals, all the way through both the Dublin Championship and Leinster, and also the semi-final.
That's it. I think we nearly have more goals than points nowadays, but it gives every team or every player on the team such confidence. If you kick the ball in there, something's going to come from it. So you just have to make a good pass, I suppose.
And make looking at the scores through it, bar 2 games, 12-point winning margins from your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think the scoreline, some of the games might flatter us. I think we've managed to get an early start on teams, and you get 3 or 4 goals up, and then heads tend to drop. And we've managed to close games out very well. So I think the games really, I mean, if you look at it against Clontarf, we only won the semi-final by 3 or 4 points. Carrigadnams, we just won by 2 points down there. They were very tough games. So I think that's probably more, the reality of the situation. I think looking forward on Saturday. It's you can get lucky in girls football. You get 3 or 4 goals, and the scoreline might look a lot, but goals win games in ladies football, and it can be like 3 or 4 points in a men's match, to be honest.
Yeah, and goals do win games, and 44 goals to date. That's what your team has racked up. I don't know whether you knew that or not. No. You probably did, but that's impressive. 44 goals through a lot of games that you've gone through this year.
Yeah, I think. I think to be fair to the forwards we have, they're spread out among 3 or 4 girls. Like, it's not just one girl that's scoring the scores, and game to game, it has changed. Siobhan Colleen's got some, Eva O'Connor's got some, Fiona Skelly's got goals, Sarah's got goals. So I mean, there's a lot of girls that scored in the team. So it's, we have a good spread of players who are getting scores. We're not setting out deliberately to get goals. I think the opportunities just present themselves, so the girls are taking them when they present themselves.
And Sarah, as you were saying, you were there the three previous years, the heartbreak of losing, the county final 3 years in a row. It probably made this year's all the more sweeter, but there's probably been a lot learned from that as well. And you're looking at your score lines, you've been ahead in some of the games at half time, but by a fair amount. But the team just keeps going.
But that's it. Like you said, all the times losing, you can never be too safe. You have to keep driving. So, maybe that's just in the back of some of the girls. Not all the girls were there, but I suppose just as a team, we just push. And like Mick said, we're not going for goals. They're just the players that we have are great in front of goal.
And the new players that have come in, which ones have you been impressed with most?
Well, there's Becky and our fullback and Grace. They're unbelievable, the 2 girls, and even just the talking from them. People step into a team, it's hard to voice yourself, but these girls have really pushed our team to. Siobhan Colleen in the full forward line, how fast she can get the ball from her hand to her foot, nobody's going to beat her, so it's brilliant.
And Mick, your opponents on Saturday, Emmet Óg, what do you know about them?
Well, I mean, it's been difficult because the games have come around so quick, and we didn't have an opportunity to see them play. But we know they're an amalgamation of 3 or 4 clubs up around Clontarf, Óg. They have a very good forward, Ella McCarran. She plays with Monaghan. She's an former All-Star, 1 or 2 O'Connor Cup medals. So she's a very, very good player. And at this level, there's going to be other girls, young girls that are playing that we won't even know who they are, but they'll be very good club players. So we'll do our homework as best we can. I'm sure they'll do the same for us, and we'll have to play it a bit by ear on the day. That's just the nature of the competition and the opportunity you get to see players.
And looking at it, I'm not too familiar with Emmet Óg myself, so I'm not sure their style of play, but they're a Monaghan side. A lot of Ulster teams play a lot of defensive football. It might be a case of being, your team having to be very patient.
Yeah, I think we've learned as we've gone through the competition. The style of the teams we've played. I'd say we know the Carrigaven and Longford. They narrowed the pitch in that day and they played quite defensively. Against other teams as well, they started out, Dave Kieran in the Leinster final. The first half they were very defensive. It took us a while to break them down, but once we got on top of the game and the game opened up a little bit, I think we were able to come to our own. But the girls have experienced different styles of play now, so hopefully they'll be able to cope whatever comes on today.
And looking ahead to Saturday again, you've got your Dublin club title, you've got the Leinster title, and now you've the chance to be the first Dublin side to win the Intermediate All-Ireland Club Championship. That would be a great way to finish off your season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, there's so many years we had no trophies, and this could be our third one this year, so it'd be absolutely brilliant. And
to your supporters, what would you say to them for ahead of this Saturday?
They've been great to date. We've played 11 games. This will be our 11th game in the championship. And once we've got to beyond the semi-final, we had a great crowd at the semi-final home to Clontarf. Great support out for Coola, and the support we had in Ballinasloe the last day was outstanding. So hopefully, they'll all make it long. Short trip up to Parnell Park Saturday evening. I'll be there to cheer us on and hopefully get over the line.
Well, Mick, Sarah, thanks for joining us. Very best of luck on Saturday, and hopefully I'll grab a word with both of you after the game to talk about your win.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.